Hey guys, Jonty Hikmet here, welcome to my channel. In today's very special video, I'm going to go through my entire pain relief process from start to finish. If you're new to the channel and you don't know who I am, I managed to get lasting relief from my chronic stomach and back pain many years ago, and now over the last decade, I've helped hundreds of other people also get lasting relief from their chronic symptoms. Not just stomach and back pain, also anxiety, fatigue, migraines, dizziness, pelvic pain, any disharmony in the mind or body can be alleviated using the very simple process I'm going to explain today. So let's crack on. You may not be able to read this, so I'll read everything out loud. So the process to get lasting relief from symptoms, chronic symptoms, happens in 3 stages. Stage 1 is called the knowledge stage, where you learn, you answer the question, why do I have symptoms in the first place? You learn about the science, about why symptoms are being created. Stage 1, that's knowledge. Stage 2 is all about care. Which tools do I need to heal? So after you've learned in stage 1, okay, I know why I have symptoms, now what tools do I need to use to heal? That's stage 2. Stage 3, plan. How do I incorporate those tools into my life? So once you learn the tools you need to use, how do you incorporate them into your life? Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, knowledge, care, plan. Why do I have symptoms? Which tools do I need to heal? How do I incorporate those tools into my life? Simple. So let's go into each of those stages in slightly more detail. Stage 1. Why do I have symptoms? So hopefully you've already read some sort of mind-body book to understand the science of why symptoms are created in the body. But essentially the mind is creating bodily symptoms to try to get us to notice something in our lives. And what is it trying to get us to notice? It's trying to get us to notice we're repressing emotions. It's trying to get us to notice we're not getting to our creative outlets. We're not enjoying our career. We're not fulfilled in our relationship, or we're not sleeping in the way that we should. There's a lot of things that the mind could be trying to tell you, and it's trying to tell you through the body. It's not giving you back pain or fatigue because there's something wrong. It's giving you these symptoms to try to tell you you're doing something wrong in your life. What's difficult is none of us have been taught this. We often think if we have back pain, I probably need a surgery or I need an exercise or whatever it is. None of us are taught about this process at all. So, like I said, I'm not going to go into this in too much detail. It's very important to understand the why, but you can learn about this all in a lot more detail in all the mind-body books, the John Sarno books, etc. Essentially what he discovered, and what I had when I had chronic pain, and anyone else that have had chronic symptoms, is people with certain controlling personality traits are more likely to develop chronic symptoms. And these traits are things like being a people pleaser, a perfectionist, high achiever, serial planner. Anything where we're trying to control our external appearance for everyone, we're trying to control the way we feel, we're making sure we do the job that everyone wants us to do, and we're not saying things out loud that we should. These sorts of personality traits, these controlling traits, they're more likely to get chronic symptoms. Like I said, I'm not going to go too much into the why, because we can learn all about that in all the great books on this subject. But let's get into the bulk of this. I think stage 2, the care. Which tools do I need to heal? This I think is the most important part of the video. And I know there's a lot of writing right now. It seems overwhelming, but trust me, this is all very easily incorporated into your life. So essentially, the tools you need to heal are separated into 4 components: emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual. I didn't come up with those 4 components. Lots of different health practitioners have used these 4 components. What perhaps could be unique to me is the things that I choose to place in all the 4 components. So let's go through all of them. To get lasting relief from your symptoms, you just need to attend to your emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual health. Most people overly attend to their physical health. Physical health are things like sleep, exercise, and diet. Most people, when they have chronic symptoms, they start with this. They try and improve their sleep. They think, do I need to exercise more, exercise less? Do I need to change my diet? Probably in here, I'd also write, doctors as well. People go to doctors, treatments, pills. That's the physical. This is all very important, but people overly rely on this and they don't attend to these other components. So to go through each of the components one by one, emotional health, usually the most important component to rely on. In emotional health, we realize that in stage one, if part of the reason my mind is creating symptoms in my body or disharmony in the mind in some way is because I'm repressing emotions, I need to learn how to acknowledge and allow emotions. And the best tools to do so are meditation, journaling, therapy, and group support settings. These are the best ways to acknowledge and allow the emotions that are arising for us. Very often, I've said it in all my YouTube videos so far, we have an appearance that we like to put on for the world, that's very kind, that's very civil, and we push down certain emotions. We don't want people to see that we're feeling afraid or feeling angry or feeling not kind or feeling judgmental. And it's good that we don't let people see those things because it's nice that we're kind and civil to one another. But our mind doesn't like that. Our mind wants us to learn how to allow these emotions. And doing things like meditation, journaling, therapy, and group support, these are safe spaces where you get to practice allowing all the emotions you usually wouldn't let yourself allow in everyday life. That was a hell of a sentence to say, but you get the point here. Emotional health is the key component in this work. Lots of people meditate and they do it because they think they need to relax. Or they go to therapy because they think they're going to get lots of advice from the person. This is a misconception. In meditation, it's anything but relaxed. I've done a great video. I say great, it's my video. I did a video about the right and wrong way to meditate to get lasting relief from pain. Hopefully I'll be able to tag it here, and that will go into more detail about the right way to meditate to attend to our emotional health. So that's the emotional component. The tools we learn to use every day, meditation, journaling, therapy, group support. If it's just meditation and journaling you need to learn, again, it's going to be like, how can I put these into my life? We're going to get into that into stage 3, but for now, that's emotional health. Mental health. This is all about mindset. This is all about self-talk. This is all about learning to communicate with people around you. In mindset, look, the thing about mindset here is that the mind is always going to create symptoms in the body, but people with certain personality traits panic whenever their body is doing something that, they don't want it to do. So the mindset that we have to cultivate in the mental health section is one of becoming an optimist, one of becoming resilient, one of learning that you can persevere even through adversity. And very often people that have chronic symptoms, they haven't quite cultivated that mindset just yet. And when it comes to the self-talk of cultivating that mindset, I'm not talking about just being positive. I'm not saying you just got to be like, I'm fine and everything's okay. The self-talk we learn in mental health to get lasting relief from symptoms is one where we learn how to validate how we're feeling, but choose to take a resilient perspective anyway. So an example could be, I'm feeling really afraid right now. I'm feeling really angry right now, and it's okay that I'm feeling that way. It's okay that I'm feeling this negative emotion right now. It doesn't define me. But what if I decided that my mind and body is working for me? What if I decided that I'm actually okay to feel anger? What if I decide it's okay if people don't like me? What if I decide it's okay that I'm not always the best in things? Mindset and self-talk in this mental health section is not all about being positive. It's about validating how we're feeling, but choosing to take an optimistic or resilient perspective about the situation. There's lots of nuance here. Again, I'm not going to get too much into it. I'm just going to give you the brief overview because I could go into all of this for, hours. But essentially, in mental health, we're learning how to cultivate a different mindset. We're learning how to use affirmations properly, not about just being positive. And we're also learning how to communicate with people around us. A lot of people who have these personality traits that get chronic symptoms, they often don't know their needs and they don't know how to express boundaries. I can tell you as a former people pleaser, I had no idea what my needs were. I'd be in relationships and I didn't know that I liked being around people. I didn't know that I liked, I don't know, I'm trying to think some of the things that I didn't know at the time that I know now. I didn't know that I liked being around people. I didn't know I liked being an extrovert. I didn't know that I needed to get to my creative outlets. I didn't know that music was very important to me. I was so content on making sure everyone else around me was happy, didn't know my own needs. And when I learnt my own needs, I didn't know how to express them, how to actually set boundaries and say, hey, by the way, this is what I need right now. Mental health. People with these personality traits that get chronic pain, they tend to struggle with communication. Very important. Let's move over to physical health. Sleep, exercise, diet, doctors, supplements, treatments, this kind of thing. Very important stuff, but it gets overly relied upon. When I had chronic stomach and back pain, I was obsessed with my diet. I was obsessed with exercise regimens. I would panic if I didn't sleep in the hours that I should have slept. I was just overly doing this physical part. So what I teach in the physical component is, as long as you're happy with sleep, exercise, and diet, and you're cultivating the proper mindset about it, like you're okay about the fact that your diet is going to be a bit iffy sometimes. You're okay about the fact that you won't always get to your exercise. You're okay about your sleep not always being great. If you've got a good mindset about your physical health, you're staying as healthy as you can be, but you're not obsessed. That's the kind of territory I steer people towards. So again, moving on. Spiritual health, arguably one of the most important components. This is all about community. This is about having fun. This is about creativity, hobbies. This is about your career. Are you happy in your career? Are you getting to nature often? Are you happy with intimacy? Spiritual health is basically, are you fulfilled in your life? When I was going through, I'd have bouts of chronic pain and then maybe it would ease and then I'd have big bouts again. When I was going through a big bout of it for an extended period of time, what ultimately I had to change was aspects of my spiritual health. I wasn't getting to my creativity. My friends weren't around as much as they used to be, so my community was lacking. I wasn't fulfilled in intimacy. I wasn't happy in my career. So much of this had to change. I had to leave a relationship. I had to change my jobs. I'm not saying you have to do all of these things to get relief from pain, but they're things to consider, very important things to consider. Community, fun, creativity, hobbies, career, nature, intimacy. Are you getting to these things? Are you letting pain stop you from doing these things? And if so, how can you get back to doing them? So this is stage 2. Again, I could speak for hours about this, and I do in all my other courses, etc. But I just want to give an overview. The tools you need to heal: emotional, mental, physical, spiritual. You need to incorporate these things into your life somehow, which brings us on to stage 3. How do I incorporate these tools into my life? You learn how to create habits, you learn how to create a personal schedule, you learn about balance, and you learn about flexibility. Let's start with habits. So you may have seen that last whiteboard and think, oh wow, there's a lot of things I need to do. This is a bit overwhelming. It's actually not as crazy as you think it is. When you create good habits around your life, the people that come to see me, what they're really doing on a day-to-day basis, they're probably meditating and journaling 10, 20, 30 minutes a day. I usually recommend 3 to 5 days a week. So, that's a brief part of your day. If you can't do it in the morning or the evening, you find pockets to do it. You may be watching this with young kids and really just don't have any time to do anything. So you just find 5-minute moments to do it. The point about creating habits is, even if you can do small amounts of the things, that's better than doing nothing. So people that come to see me, they're meditating and journaling the amount of time that they can every single day, or at least 3 to 5 days a week. They're sorting out their spiritual care, they're sorting out community, they're making more of an effort with the friends around them, they're getting to their creative outlets more, they're improving their mindset. Where we improve the mindset is the self-talk during ordinary moments. So they're learning how to validate how they're feeling, but also choose a resilient perspective about the situation. And they do this by just creating daily habits. And it's not as big as you think it is. It's no more bigger than the fact that we get hungry every day and we need to eat, or we get tired every day and we need to sleep. It's just another minuscule thing that you need to incorporate into your life. and you'll get lasting relief from your symptoms. How amazing is that? So in stage 3, you learn how to cultivate habits. On my courses, in my programs, in my one-on-one sessions, I teach people how to do this, how to create lasting habits, not just do something for a couple of weeks and then drop it. To teach people to do that, you basically create a personal schedule for yourself. You tell yourself every day, I'm going to do meditation at this time, I'm going to journal at this time, I'm going to make sure during ordinary moments this is what the self-talk is like, I'm going to make sure I'm checking in with certain people I know that are supporting me, I do the movement or the exercises that I say I want to do, I relax when I say I want to do. If this voice comes up in my head, the perfectionist, this is how I'm going to attend to it. You create a personal schedule around all your tools. You create a weekend schedule, you can create a weekday schedule, how to incorporate it into your life. Most important thing about the how is balance and flexibility. You learn how to balance those 4 components. You learn not to overdo your emotional health. You learn I'm not gonna meditate for 6 hours a day. That's overdoing emotional health. I'm not gonna be really stringent about diet and exercise. That's overdoing physical health. I'm not just gonna drop my career and just have fun all the time and be hedonistic. That's overdoing spiritual health. You can see where I'm going. You learn about balance with all those 4 things. You learn the middle way, as we speak about in Buddhism. Very important with the how to incorporate things into your life. And then you learn about flexibility. Sometimes your personal schedule is not going to work on some days. Some days you're not going to get to your meditation, or things aren't going to go the way that you want it to go. You're going to doubt the process sometimes. You need to learn how to be flexible in those moments. What do I do with that doubt? What do I do when I feel more afraid than I'm used to? So you learn how to be flexible. You learn how to check in with the people supporting you. You learn how to adapt your personal schedule to suit what's arising for you in that moment. I may have spoken very quickly in that video, but I wanted to give you a full breakdown in the most succinct way possible of how you'll get lasting relief from symptoms. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Why do I have symptoms? Which tools do I need to get over the symptoms, and how can I incorporate them into my life? That's the full breakdown. If you'd like this in more detail, you can join my pain relief community for free. In the community, I go through this whole thing in a 1-hour course in a bit more detail, so you can really understand all the different nuances and how they apply to you. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comment section below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.